Hello, everyone. I'm Corinne.
Hi, and I'm John. Welcome back to Living News. It's been nearly a year since we actually had our last episode, and so we're just so excited, Corinne, to be doing Living News again.
We are excited. We've really missed you guys. So thank you for tuning in. I hope you really enjoyed the show. We have a really beautiful treat for you.
And we've got going forward in the new episodes that we've got some really exciting things that we're going to be presenting.
Yes, we have.
And we're in a new studio. So, yeah, go on.
I was just going to say, Andrea did a great job with our background.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so
great
much.
Job, Andrea. Thank you very much for all the great work you've done with our graphics. Really appreciate it. So, anyway, now that we're in a new studio, we're in a new season. We've actually got new cast members that are actually going to be joining us as we go forward now.
Oh, is that right?
Yep, and we'll talk a bit more about that as we go into the program. So stay tuned. Let's get in. Thank you. We're going to start off with our doctor. We've got a new doctor doing presenting.
Doctor?
Yeah, doing the Living Well segment.
That's fantastic.
And we'll talk a bit more about her when when we see this. Thank you.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Dr. Bindya Sethi. I'm a GP in Melbourne. Today, we are going to talk about vitamin D, why it is important for our body, and how do we get it. So let's talk about vitamin D. Vitamin D, as you may have heard, it is a hormone in the body, and it is produced by the skin when the skin is exposed to sunlight. So when the sun is out, we go out in the sun, and the UV rays in the sun, they fall on our skin, and the vitamin D is formed by the body. So what happens when we are deficient in vitamin D? How do you know? What I see when people come in, most of the people complain about fatigue. They also complain about loss of appetite. Some people also say that there is a bony pain that they get. And these are the very common symptoms with vitamin D. Sometimes vitamin D deficiency can also cause a state like sadness or depression in some people. So, what are the causes of vitamin D? As you would know, that vitamin D is not present in any food. Some of the fish, like salmon, may have some amount of vitamin D, but we basically get it from sunlight. So if we are not exposed to sunlight, if we work indoors, mostly if you're not going out in the sun, if there is no sun, then it is very hard to make vitamin D in your body. And in that way, we become deficient. So the question is, what do we do then? There is a common myth about exposing your body to sunlight. People often ask me, should we not wear sunscreen when we go out because the UV rays need to act on the skin? But that is actually a myth. So when you go out in the sun, you need to protect yourself with a sunscreen, and the skin will still be able to make vitamin D for you. What are the causes? We discussed that. And what are the other things that we can do? So when we go out in the sunlight, make sure that you refer to the Sun Smart app. There is another app called BOM, which is the Bureau of Meteorology. So as we were talking about the sun exposure that we need for vitamin D production in our body, the skin has a pigment called melanin, which is the pigment that makes the skin dark or light. So the melanin basically absorbs the UV rays, and then it makes vitamin D in the skin. So people who have normally dark skin, it is not easy for their skin to actually make it, and in that case, they become deficient in vitamin D. Sun Smart app and the Bureau of Meteorology, they usually have the range of UV rays displayed during the day, what it is going to be like at a certain time of the day. When we go out in the sun, as I said, put sunscreen on and wear a white brim hat, which covers your face nicely and your neck nicely. Also, try and cover your sleeves. So basically, put long sleeves and cover your arms there. Basically, covered clothes. Um, an exposure of around, say, small amount of time, say even 10 minutes on your arm, can actually help you make vitamin D in your body. And it is quite helpful. When there is no sun, say it is winter time, and what we do is we can actually have some supplements. There are supplements available. You can see the GP to ask for help and see what is going on. And if the blood test shows that there is a deficiency, then your GP can actually recommend some supplements for you. Um, and that is the best way in the winter time, if you're deficient, that you could actually replenish your body's vitamin D, um, and stay healthy, basically. So for any concerns, any further help, you should see your GP, consult your GP. Once in a year, maybe annual checkups are really, very important. And that's how we maintain the good health in our body. Thank you.
She was very good.
She was great.
You know what, Johnny? I'll share something with you in the audience. A week or so ago, exactly what Dr. Bindia was saying, I was feeling very fatigued. And I went to the doctors, and the first thing he said is, we're going to check your vitamin D. If you're one of those people like myself who work indoors, make sure you do get out and get that good sunlight on your skin. Or if you're dark like me as well, like Dr. Bindia said, it's just a little bit harder for our skin to absorb vitamin D.
Yep.
So we need to make sure we have it.
Yeah, I actually went to the doctor a few years ago when I wasn't very well. I had some illnesses, and when I did the blood test, my vitamin D level was down to 30, and it should be around 100.
Whoa, that's a lot.
So yeah, it's amazing that, especially in Melbourne, or down the southern states of Australia, we don't get as much sunlight.
Yeah.
And so there are a lot of people that are actually deficient in vitamin D. So, get out there, get your doctor to check it, and check your vitamin D level and see what level you're at, and then take some supplements. Get outdoors as much as you can. And, sometimes we think about, you can't spend too much outdoor because of the sun and getting sunburnt. But if you go early, before the peak of the heat, and then, or in the afternoon when there's still a lot of sun out there, but you don't have that peak of the sun, that's really good as well. So get as much as you can. And I also found out something interesting too about vitamin D, is that you can actually get vitamin D in the shade, the reflection.
Is that right?
Yeah. So as much as we like, to be in the sun to get as much vitamin D as we can, you can get a little bit in the shade as well.
Yeah, there's something that Bindia mentioned, and she said
Yeah.
that even some, correct me if I'm wrong, even some, like when we get sore in our body, that could be due to a lot of vitamin D. I know, like, for instance, you know how in Melbourne the weather, hasn't been the greatest. We've had a lot of rain, we've had all that. And when you would ring people, they say, oh, I'm not really feeling well, like I've got some soreness. So I'm just thinking, well, maybe it's vitamin D.
Yeah, it's amazing how many illnesses are caused from a lack of vitamin D. So our recommendation is to our viewers is to go to your doctor, get a blood test, and check your vitamin D level as well. And look, the good news, Corinne, is Dr. Bindia will be our regular Living Well specialist. And so each episode, Dr. Bindia will be doing a segment for us, and I'm really looking forward to her other episodes.
Me too. Do you know what I also like about her?
Yeah.
Sometimes when we go to the doctors, they use so much jargon that we really, like, it's over our head.
Yeah.
I feel like she was so down to earth. She gave us the symptoms, and she also told us what to do. So I'm really excited about the advice that she's given us, and I hope that you are as well, and you'll take it on board.
Yeah, that's great. Actually, I actually saw Dr. Bindia on television.
I did too.
She was on the news.
For good reason.
Yeah, for good news. for a good reason. She was actually interviewed by the news reporters on some really really good knowledge that she has. But we'll talk about a bit more about Dr. Bindia in our next episode.
Yeah. Can I ask something?
Yes.
Okay. Because this obviously Living News is for you guys. Is there something, a topic that you would like Dr. Bindia to talk about? Maybe you'd like to send us a message and let us know.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we could have a chat to her and accommodate that.
Oh, yeah. Dr. Bindia has already offered, if their guests or audience do have a particular topic that they'd like to her to talk. And she also specialises in women's health as well. And she's also a vice president of an association, a doctors association. So I can't remember the exact name now, but next time we'll tell you.
Sounds very qualified. We're very happy to have you on board, Dr. Bindia. Thank you so much.
So, Corinne, we're going to move on now to our next segment. And our next segment is we're actually going to interview. This is our main spotlight for today. And we're going to be interviewing somebody about a retreat. And so we're going to go to that now. And we're just going to have a little clip about this retreat, and we'll interview Sylvia.
Oh, okay. Let's do that. So you talked about Sylvia. What has Sylvia got to share with us today, Johnny? Maybe we should bring her on first.
Yeah,
let's
I don't know what happened to the clip there, but anyway, we did have a clip.
I wonder whether Danubia can put the clip on. Maybe.
Yeah. Danubia, can you just put on that clip?
Apologies.
Sorry, I don't know what's happened there. We've got a little bit of technical problem.
Technical issues. That happens when we go live.
That clip was working fine before, so I'm not sure whether we can try it again, but we'll just try it out.
I think it's worth trying again because that was a really beautiful clip.
Sorry, technical issues.
You know what? It's our first time after a year.
Yeah.
It's all good.
We'll get there. Nubia, could you try that again, please? Oh, well, sorry about that, folks. We don't know what's happened there, but nevertheless, we've got Sylvia here to join us. So welcome, Sylvia.
Hi, Sylvia.
Hi, Corinne. Hi, Johnny. Oh, that was such a shame. That clip would have actually been a good segue in. But anyway, I'm sure we get to see it.
Yes, we don't really know what happened there. But I'm sure the crew, we have an amazing crew. I'm sure they'll have a look at it, and if possible, we can watch it again later. Yeah. But anyway, welcome to Living News, Sylvia. Lovely to have you here. I can see there's some words behind you, and I guess that's what we'll be talking about today.
Maybe, yep.
And it's Cedarvale.
So Sylvia, can you just tell us a little bit about Cedarvale, just at a high level? What is Cedarvale?
So Cedarvale is a health and lifestyle retreat, and it sort of originated back in 1956. There was actually a man by the name of Jeff Richardson who purchased a 150-acre property in Kangaroo Valley, New South Wales. His purpose was really to try and help street kids and get a better perspective over skills and life and things like that. And when he was actually there, he saw the potential for that property in Kangaroo Valley to actually be a health retreat. It's got a beautiful creek running through it and beautiful undulated, paths and things like that. So in 1990, Cedarvale actually opened its doors to the public, and basically, it does lifestyle treatments for chronic diseases. We'll go maybe into that a little bit later. And in May 2023, we opened our doors in Victoria, Yarra Ranges, and that's the one that I'm actually managing.
Beautiful part of the world, Yarra Ranges as well.
Yeah, it is. It is
Yeah.
really, really nice, right up the Black Spurs. So we're actually in Nabathong. I know that every time I say, "Oh, Cedarvale, we're in Nabathong," where it's Nabathong is actually midway between Hillsville and Marysville. So if you get to Hillsville, you just go up about 15 kilometers up the Black Spurs. It's a really beautiful place. It feels as if you're driving into the skies, kind of a thing. But do
Oh,
look at the
wow.
road. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful drive.
So how much land are you on up there?
We are on 101 acre in
Oh, that's a lot of
Cedarvale.
land.
Yeah, that is a lot of land, but that's not just the wellness. So the uniqueness of this Cedarvale in Victoria that's different to Kangaroo Valley is that we've got a training building as well, and we also have a garden. So we're trying to grow our own produce. Yeah,
Mm.
and starting up. Everything is just starting up because it's fairly new.
Okay, that's great. So, there in the age that we're living in now, there are a lot of people that are interested in health and well-being, going to the gym and all this type of stuff. And there's a lot of wellness centers around the place. What's
Mm.
different about Cedarvale versus other wellness centers?
Great question.
Very good question, Johnny. Cedarvale, I suppose, like what I said at the start, it's lifestyle medicine. So we go back to the basics, our plant-based meals. We don't promote caffeine. I know it's hard for some, any alcohol or anything, but the other bit to Cedarvale is that it's not just about wellness, it's about education. So it's also about
Mm.
how do we actually, instead of just treating you on the surface, equip you to be able to learn so that you can take the learnings back home into your own day-to-day environment and continue with some of the teachings and the education that's been imparted to someone. So the
I like
education
the
can
idea of
be,
that.
yeah, and the education can be anything from even simple basic cooking skills. Vegan meals can actually be very tasty, so that's what we do. We do cooking classes. Dr. Bindia spoke about vitamin D. We do a lot of exercise. There's a lot of beautiful paths and tracks that you can actually walk. It's paved, so you don't have to get too concerned about unlevel grounds. And then what we do is we have 2 sessions of education in a day. We also have different therapy treatments that will help reset the body, or deal with any of your chronic diseases that you want to try and manage.
That's great. When you think about these days, pretty much every second person you talk to, we either know someone that is unwell, and I'm a firm believer of natural remedies, and we try and eat a lot more vegan meals now, which, like you said, can be tasty, because I think in the past people didn't know how to prepare vegan meals, and
Mm,
probably put a lot of people off vegan meals, whereas now there's so many people, it's like a
Yeah.
trend, and it's so healthy for you. And I like the fact that you're saying that you talked about a veggie patch. Is that correct, that
yeah.
you are doing there? So I'm thinking you're going to go there, grab your own veggies, No,
I get veggies out of my garden every day.
I do a little bit, just some tomatoes and stuff. But
Just
that's really
about,
good.
can I just
No,
butt in
go
for a
on.
bit there, Corinne?
Yeah.
We're talking about vegan, but there are a lot of people that are unhealthy vegans as well.
Mhm.
But you're more plant-based whole foods, aren't you?
That's
In
correct.
Victoria's
That's
food,
correct.
which is
Yeah,
a lot
because
better
it's
than vegan.
That's right,
Yeah.
because it's not processed, it's actually, and
Yeah.
that's why we have the veggie patch. We have guests that actually even go and harvest at the veggie patch or help in the veggie patch,
Oh,
and
that's
that
lovely.
in itself can be very therapeutic, because they are getting their hands in and they're working, with their hands as well. But you are so right, Corinne. There's a lot of veganism, kind of a concept that's out there. We go back into everything that's freshly grown, freshly made, so that we don't
Beautiful.
actually have that process into it as well. And people are actually really surprised with the cooking classes. you know um we have this thing called Love Your Heart butter, and that replaces butter, but it's actually made out of
Mm,
polenta. It's beautiful. I'll have to make it in one of our
polenta.
meals. Yeah, polenta, Love Your Heart butter. And it's really absolutely beautiful. It's a good spread. It's got good consistency, but it's made out of polenta, so it's not harmful, to your arteries or things like that. And
Yeah.
when they actually taste this, and they go, wow, you mean this is actually good for me? Yes, it is
Mm,
actually good for you. And it's so easy
yes,
to make. Can
yes.
be done in about 10 minutes.
Now,
Yep.
we've got some comments that have come through, and I saw one from Pam there from our audience.
Mhm.
You feel free, if you're watching online live, feel free to send us some comments or you got a question. And there was one from Pam I saw there. She said, are there any packages?
Yeah, thanks for that, Pam. Yes, there are packages. So we do have a 4-night stay, we have a 5-night stay, and we have a 12-night stay.
Oh, wow.
So different nights gives you different package prices. All the packages would include your initial consult with a health profession. It will include all your, obviously, your ensuite queen room. It includes your health coaching session. It includes 2
Wow.
cooking classes, 2 exercise classes. And if it's a 4-day stay, 4 or 5 day stay, you get 4 treatments. So maybe I can talk about the treatment slightly later. But if you have a
Thank you.
12-night stay, you get 9 treatments. So it really all depends on what you're looking to try and achieve and the goals that you have actually set yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
that's where we gather all this during our initial consults with you, so that your
Okay.
stay then gets tailored in some sense with the different kinds of treatments.
So when you
Yeah.
talk about treatments, can you explain what some of these treatments are? Are they hydrotherapy or are they
Yeah.
massage? Can you explain what hydrotherapy is, or what some of the treatments are? Just
Yeah, definitely. But before maybe I go into the treatments, let me just sort of go into what the treatments could potentially help you with. So, some of
Mm,
the treatments could help with managing stress.
mm-hmm.
Some of the treatments could help with managing weight, reducing high blood
Mm-hmm.
pressure, reducing
Mm-hmm.
cholesterol, and these are all chronic diseases. Some of it could be about helping you overcome a dependency on alcohol or caffeine or
Mm-hmm.
smoking, like an addiction. It can also help with improving your mental well-being, you're optimizing your brain. So there's a whole array, and the treatments will be discussed. But some of the treatments that we use, when you talk about hydrotherapy, we call that contrast shower. We use hydrotherapy water, and to actually get the circulation right up and running. So contrast showers
Yeah.
means you're hot and you're cold. So we do 3 minutes of hot, 30 seconds of cold, and this is cold as you can take the cold, and it actually enhances the circulation. We also do wet sheet wraps, that's really good for sleep and exhaustion. Somebody might come in and they might actually say, I'm extremely stressed or I'm extremely tired. We make the recommendation that maybe one of your treatments could be a wet sheet wrap. And what we do is that it's called wraps that we actually wrap them with, and the body actually starts the blood flow starts flowing, and then they'll actually start feeling warm, and that actually relaxes them, and it actually gives them a good night's rest. The other one is that we have the far infrared sauna. So it's actually using infrared lights with the sauna. We also have the Russian steam sauna. These saunas are actually used to promote that sweating, to get rid of that detox, substance withdrawal. It can also aid with increasing your immune boost, because when you do all that, you get that blood flow circulation, which actually then comes running through the body. We also have clay wraps. That's activated charcoal with normal clay that we mix, and it's not just any clay. So these are all graded, everything that we do here. And we wrap you in clay, and that's also another way of actually drawing out impurities or toxins. And
Wow,
then we
that's a lot
still,
of treatment.
yeah, it's a
That's
whole
really
heap.
great.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
obviously, yeah.
besides that, because not everybody just wants to go through, or not everyone would come with a certain condition. Some might just want to come for a relaxation and a reset, and what we do is we do have a whole lot of relaxation therapy as well, like your foot massages. One of my favorites actually is the skin indulge. The skin indulge actually puts
And what's that one?
beautiful. You've got to try it, Corinne. It's so beautiful. You actually have clay that's actually put in, and while that's actually masking away, you get a hand massage, you get a foot massage, you get a neck massage, you get a scalp massage, and by then
You
you
go to
feel as though
sleep.
you're in cloud nine. Yeah, exactly,
Yeah, you go to sleep.
exactly.
That sounds so awesome.
I could choose one of them right now.
Yeah, definitely.
I've had a big day.
John has been saying how he's had a big day. So I'm sure if you are watching, there are so many people these days working so many long hours. And like Sylvia said, you don't have to have a chronic illness to go there. You could just need a reset, just to go
Mhm.
there and just catch your breath.
Mhm.
And it sounds, oh, the clay and all that, that sounds just so, so, so lovely. Sylvia, I like the story that you said about this guy that came that high. His diabetes was really high.
Yeah.
Well, it was over nine or something.
Yeah,
Is that
over
correct?
9. It was over 9.
Yeah.
And when he sort of came to us, he sort of said, I don't want to get onto medication. I don't want to start taking diabetes medication. I'm really on so many
Mm,
medication. He had blood pressure, high blood pressure as
mm.
well. So that was one of his goals. He really wanted to get it as low as he could. And by the time he left, it was reading 5.6, and it was reading
Wow.
5.6 for a few days. So it wasn't just the day before he left. And we took his blood pressure, gone right down to a normal 119/61. He was really stoked, really, really stoked. And we didn't even do anything. He continued with his medication, because most of the time we tell them that they are to do that. He
Yeah.
continued with taking his blood sugar 3 times a day, and even at 3 times a day was reading at 5. This was from about day 2, day 3. But
Yeah.
he did go through quite a fair bit, and yeah, and I've been in touch with him ever since. He's still continuing with the therapy, so really, really great.
Yeah, I like stories like that,
Mhm.
because if that situation was, say, they went to the doctors, you would be sure that it would be a pill prescribed.
Mm,
Whereas if like, again, if you educate people about lifestyle changes, normally when you take a pill, there's something, like you get something from the pill, then you take another pill,
Yeah, to fix
to fix
that.
that
Yeah,
one. So it's like a never ending story.
yeah.
But imagine if you can do that, like still taking that, but just relying a little bit of natural remedies. I think that's great. And Sylvia, I just want to, sorry, go
Well,
on,
no,
Johnny.
we had a comment there
We
from
did.
Elizabeth. Maybe we can just check that, Sylvia. Elizabeth's got a question there. Are the things used for clay treatments, etc., suitable for sensitive skin?
Absolutely, absolutely. We even had people with rosacea are actually coming in, and we're very mindful of how we do treatments, especially when it causes heat, because that gets exacerbated with heat. So definitely, we everything that we use, like our mineral soaks, that's from the Morley Highlands in Austria. So it's all
Wow.
Oh,
imported.
wow.
Yeah, it's all imported.
Beautiful.
Everything is
Right.
imported.
Now,
Yeah.
we've talked a lot about physical, physical issues. All right. But what about mental? You help many
Yeah.
people with mental issues and things like that.
Very good question, Johnny. Because when we speak about lifestyle, and when we speak about, getting your sleep wake cycle, your circadian rhythm, when we speak about nutrition, when we speak about exercise, when we speak about hydration, which is what we do at Cedarvale, and give you the education, you find that the automatic reset of the brain comes as well, because you're actually doing
Mhm.
things that will optimize, the potential functioning of your brain.
Yep.
Waking up at a certain time, getting into bed at a certain time, you're going to feel better. And by
Yeah.
feeling better, you actually naturally feel that, your thinking is clearer. There's clarity, and from that clarity, then you'll be able to actually address some of our most challenging mental health issues, things like your depression or your anxiety, because and some of these treatments actually help as well, because when we speak about depression, it's locked into the thinking of the past, going in and mulling over, some of that, where and the anxiety is about anxiety over the future. But when we speak about having all these therapy and having all these education and programs that will help, you naturally will get a reset in your mind as well. You will find that there's real no need. And our health education programs are actually taken by Dr. Darren Morton. I don't know
Yeah.
whether you've heard of him.
Yeah.
He
Yeah, I
has
have
this
heard of him actually.
It's a
He
beautiful
used to be
book.
beautiful.
on the ABC. He had a show on the
That's
ABC
right.
a
That's
few
right.
years ago. And
He
yeah,
he has a 10 series program called the Lift project, the Lift program, and
yeah,
it ties in really well with what Cedarvale does, because he speaks about the blue and green zones, which is your outdoors and your sky. He speaks
yeah,
about hydration, he speaks about exercise, he speaks about thinking, what actually triggers our limbic system, and how we speak to our limbic system. So these are the things that are within control. But most of the time, you find that people lose that control, and they have that brain fog, so to say,
yeah.
because they haven't actually looked after the capacity of what they're doing. Like, if you're not getting enough sleep, if you're not getting enough hydration, or if you're not getting enough any of these things, how are you actually going to think right, to make the right choices, to do the things that you're supposed to be doing? So it's like a cycle, a vicious cycle that
Yeah.
goes
A
on.
vicious cycle. Yeah.
That's right. So
Shirley Chan has just written in, and she's got a really interesting question here. It says, "Is it suitable for stage 4 breast cancer patient now in metastatic after surgery, radiotherapy, chemotherapy? After 3 years treatment, the doctor has no idea how to treat. Thanks."
it's
So,
difficult, because I'm not a practitioner, so I can't
yeah,
answer questions like that, but I do know that lifestyle reset gives us and gives our body a better opportunity to fight things using natural remedies. And with natural remedies, there will always be time that is actually a factor. So it's not an instantaneous fix, like tomorrow, today, if I do this, tomorrow I'm going to be completely well. It's a lifestyle change. That
Yeah.
lifestyle change in itself will help, rebuild and restore some of the cells. This is what I've been told as well. So it really all depends. I'm like what I said, I wouldn't actually be able to put an endorsement on that.
Yeah. Fair enough, Sylvia. There's another comment that's come through,
yeah,
Johnny.
they're just
From
endorsing that it sounds
yeah,
like a
they
really good
are.
health retreat, and I
Yeah.
agree. Sounds like a wonderful place, Sylvia. Now, I think we've got your web. What's your website? It's
The web,
Cedarvale. I
yep,
think we've got a banner
Cedarvale,
there.
yep,
Yeah.
Cedarvale Health and Lifestyle Retreat.
And
So if
also,
you
I
Google,
believe we have a surprise for our listeners
Yeah,
as well, for our viewers.
We'll just put up the
Yeah,
their website.
let's put the website first. I'm getting ahead of myself because I'm too excited about it. Here we
it's
go.
Cedarvale Retreat.com.au.
Yeah, correct. Nice and easy.
CedarvaleRetreat.com.au.
Actually, before we mention that, Sylvia, when we were chatting, when we hear lifestyle retreat, sometimes people automatically think, oh, it's going to be really expensive, especially all those wonderful things that you've mentioned. But I want to say that, if you had to put a price on your health, how much would you put?
Yeah, that's the problem. If people don't think about, the price of their house until they spend lots of money at the doctors.
That's right. If you don't have good health, nothing else is good. You could have the nicest car, the nicest house, but you'd still be feeling terrible.
Yeah.
Also, what I do like is that not only people, NDIS, is that right, Sylvia? Correct me if I'm wrong, but people also who have got an NDIS package can also look at getting some kind of a rebate, or how does that work, Sylvia? Can you explain that? Because I don't want to say the wrong thing.
So Cedarvale is not NDIS registered, right? But we have got NDIS clients coming through, and how that actually works is if the client actually wants to come to Cedarvale, there are a few things that they need to consider. Number one, it really all depends whether they can come with a carer or by themselves, depending on their condition of the NDIS. Then the second thing is that Cedarvale gives them a quote, which they will have to take and back to the support planner. And if this is actually then endorsed and approved, then we book them in.
Right.
So we won't be just taking everybody off the the booking system unless we know that it has already been endorsed.
Yes, of course.
We're running out of time. But so we're going to have to wrap up this segment. But I believe that you're offering.
Sorry, one more thing. Also, there's payment plans.
Oh, your payment plans.
There's payment plans, isn't there? So if someone
more
wants
than
to
happy.
go and talk to Sylvia, because she's amazing anyway, and she will try her very, very best. But there's payment plans, which is amazing.
And Sylvia is offering a 10% discount for Living News viewers.
Thank
you,
Sylvia.
If you're a Living News viewer and you're watching now, contact Sylvia, and she's offering a 10% discount for our audience.
Oh, that's so lovely.
So thank you so much, Sylvia.
Thank you, Sylvia.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Sorry, got to mention that if you want that 10% discount,
yes,
you have to quote Living News CYR, which is for Cedarvale Yarra Rangers.
Yep, that's on the banner there. Yeah. And also, if you were to apply online, when you get to the section where it says additional notes, just put in that quote and Sylvia will take care of you. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Oh, that's been correct. So lovely.
That's good. Sylvia, before we go, is there any last words that you'd like to say to our audience?
No, not at all. All I want to say is that, I hope to see you. I hope that we can be of service to you. We totally believe in this. And I've seen already, some good results that have come from this. So I do know it works. Thank you. But thank you all.
We've got one more question. Do you have time for one more?
Yes.
Do you have specific dates for bookings, or we can work out with what suits us better?
You can work out with what suits you better, Jackie, and more than happy to always work with you. So just be mindful that because we are still very young and new, we may not have bookings every week, but we will actually try to cluster the bookings until we get enough to be able to run. So more than happy to communicate.
Oh, wonderful.
That's great.
Thank you all.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much,
Sylvia. Really appreciate you joining us tonight.
Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you.
And we wish you all the best for your program.
I tell you what, I'm so I'm so thrilled that we were like one of the first people to promote Cedarvale, because honestly, this place, with the way that life is going, I can see that a lot of people, once that keeps going, are going to want to go there and reset.
And it's a shame that that clip didn't work, because it actually showed the buildings and the garden and all that type of stuff. So what we'll do is we make sure that.
But we have it in the music video. We have some of it in the music video.
No worries.
Probably a little bit smaller, but it looks really nice there too. Yeah.
Well, Corinne, that was awesome, and I look forward to going there one day.
Yeah,
to see it. That would
too.
be great.
Have you ever been to a health retreat, by the way? I've been to one.
No, I haven't.
And it was really, really good. So I would say.
Correct. Well, now our next segment is a recipe. Now we've got a new. We just want to thank Bibi for the recipes that she did in the last season of Living News.
Yeah.
And but Phoebe hasn't been able to continue with the recipes.
Yeah.
But we've got a new lady called Angela who's is a chef.
Yeah.
And she's putting some recipes, but she's doing them simple so that anybody can create the recipes.
That's the
you don't have to be a chef to do these. She's making them really simple, and I'm really looking forward to watching what she has made for us tonight.
Okay, let's look at it.
Thank you.
Good evening. So tonight the recipe we will be demonstrating is chia pudding with lemon and blueberries. We'll be garnishing it with blueberries and strawberries and some mint at the very end. It's a really basic recipe. Chia seeds are a complete protein source. They are very high in fibre, omega-3s. Chia can be used in any meal from breakfast to lunches, and even as an egg replacement for your baking. So we're going to start off with 1 cup of chia seeds, and it's around 2 cups of coconut cream or coconut milk. Any plant-based milk, you can use almond milk if you like, but today we're going to be using Cara coconut cream. And the website complains that it is an ethically sourced coconut cream, so no animals or monkeys have been used to harvest this particular brand. And then we got 2 cups of water. You don't want to waste, the goodness of that coconut cream. Just add it in, and the rest of your water. We've got a lemon zest, 1 lemon. And now just to sweeten it up a bit, we're going to add some maple syrup. So 2, 3, and 4 tablespoons of maple syrup. And we're going to do 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract.
Very nice. And not too sweet either.
No.
It's just nice. Not over sweet. It's just strawberry.
And again, sometimes if you're transitioning from, a traditional diet to a plant-based, sugar is one of the things that's really recommended that we reduce in our diets, just for the average person. So one of the reasons why we're using the maple instead of a refined sugar, our bodies still need some sugar, but it doesn't have to be, overbearingly sweet.
We get a lot of it from fruit anyway.
Yeah,
so
and that's why it's in there.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you.
Yep, that's it. Thank you.
That was really yum.
I couldn't tell you. I didn't get any, but it looks amazing. So easy to make. Honestly, if you I saw something that it says you can do it the night before, you pop it into the fridge, and Bob's your uncle. You have breakfast, very healthy breakfast. Can have it in the car. on your way to work.
Probably could if you wanted
You
to.
know what I mean? But don't skip breakfast. Very important. And I love Ange. She knows her stuff so well. We have used her services before, as you know, and it's been spot on. And I just know that recipe will be great, especially with the lemon zest.
By the way, I should have wrote this down, but Ange, and we can mention it next time, but Angie's got her own business and she does catering for weddings, engagements, all those type of things, 21st or whatever event that you have, Angela can cater for. So she's really good. But just going back to the recipes, the chia seeds are really good for you because they have omega-3.
Yes, and we need that, don't we?
We do need omega-3, and most people don't have enough omega-3 in their bodies.
No.
And the other thing too, in that recipe, it talked about maple syrup. What we need to be careful of, there's a lot of fake, most of the maple syrup out in the market is a fake maple syrup, especially the cheap ones, you know, like the no-name ones and stuff like that. All they are is just sugar with colouring.
Yeah.
So if you're going to get maple syrup, make sure you get the true 100% maple syrup. It's normally from Canada, and that's a much better.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. And what I also like, sorry, Johnny, going back to Ange, is she's very, very good at giving all kind of recipes, whether it's if you have a certain allergy or something, and you want to get a recipe and you're not really sure, you know, what it would look like, you can always, again, just, you know, if you want us to ask Ange to just come up with a recipe that you would love and say, oh, I can't have this, but I really like that dessert, whatever. I'm sure she will come up with something. She's just truly amazing.
Yeah. So looking forward to other recipes. I know some of the recipes that are coming up for our next.
Do you?
Yes, I do. But I'm not going to give the secrets away. You just got to watch. And on our next episode, and that's on the 11th of October is our next episode. So watch that and you'll see some more wonderful recipes from Ange and also some great stuff from the doctor. But anyway, we've got a nice musical item.
We do. So again, apologies that the clip from Cedarvale didn't work at the start. I believe everything happens for a reason. And Karina, who we love, has, you know, when I first heard that song, Johnny, I mean, I won't say too much, but the words, the lyrics really spoke to me. And also how we're talking about, you know, how because this channel is about positive news and how we've learned from Cedarvale and with the chia, with all Dr. Bindia and all that. But also it's all kind of, she wraps it up and says that nothing is impossible in the lyrics of that song. And you will see some photos, look carefully, of Cedarvale and they're absolutely gorgeous. Thank you, Karina. I love the song and I love the pictures.
Thank you. Let's have a listen.
Let's have a listen.
Jesus walked upon the water. He stilled the storm and calmed the angry sea. With his hands he healed the leper. He made the lame to walk, the blind to see. He fed 1,000 people with a loaf or two of bread. And when the ruler's daughter died, he raised her from the dead. Jesus is a God of miracles. Nothing is at all impossible to him. And I know this of all his miracles. The most incredible must be the I know He will walk beside me and heal my wounds and calm my troubled heart. Always there to bless and guide me, my psalm at night, my bright and morning star. His love and grace will never end. Each day they start anew. My name is graven on His hands, and yours is too. Jesus is a God of miracles. Nothing is at all impossible to Him, but I know He's of all His miracles, the most incredible must be the miracle that rescues you and me.
That was just beautiful. I love the words that it says He walks with us and in a God of miracles. And the program today, whatever, whether you know someone or whether yourself you're going through something, we hope that whatever we have brought you tonight has helped you to live, to think about, if you haven't before, about living a life that you were meant to have. And I know that for Johnny and myself and the crew, thank you for the whole crew. Our whole goal is to bring you those beautiful recipes, those beautiful lifestyle places, those beautiful music, everything coming together because you are worth it.
Yep.
You are.
Yep. And we, Corinne, just want to just reiterate that there's so much bad news out there. On the news, and you turn on the news, all you hear is about wars and, you know, riots and all those type of things. But living news is about bringing you good news and, you know, brighten up your day a little bit, help you to relax and enjoy something that's more positive than watching all the sad stuff on the TV. Now, just want to let you know that our next episode, our live episode, will be on October the 11th.
Yes.
Friday night, the October the 11th at 8 p.m. Melbourne Australian Eastern Standard Time. And so work out wherever you are. I know we have viewers that are overseas. So just work out the time zone for you, or if you're in Western Australia or Adelaide or wherever you are, just set the time zone. But it'll be Australian Eastern Standard Time at October the 11th at 8 p.m.
Yeah. Do you mind doing you're good at doing the like button and all that
Oh,
stuff
look,
that
if
you
you
do?
can, just, you know,
Thanks,
we'd really
Johnny.
appreciate it if you can like us or follow us, because that way, because Facebook have changed their criteria now, and if you don't have enough followers, then you can't live stream. So luckily we have enough followers, but the more that we have, the better. So invite your friends, tell them about Living News, share the good news out to other people.
Absolutely.
And don't keep it to yourself. So there is a button there. You can, there you go.
Oh,
So
there you go.
Facebook's there. And then follow us, just this, or YouTube. We're on YouTube and Facebook. Just like us and follow us. So it'd be great.
Yeah.
Yep. And oh, sorry. If you have any interesting organizations that you know of that are doing something really good for the community, or something really positive, let us know.
Yeah.
And we might include them. And it doesn't have to be an organization. It could be a particular person that's doing something great. we can interview them as well and add them to one of our sessions going forward. Or
Absolutely.
episodes.
Thank you all for a great program. Thank you for tuning in. If you don't tune in, well, you know, what's the point of the program? But we thank you so much.
Yeah.
We look forward to seeing you again on the 11th, Johnny.
11th of October, and we've got a really good program
Yes.
lined up.
Yes.
And so, yeah, just join us. And I'm not going to give anything away. You just join us, and you'll see.
Lovely. Well,
Yeah.
take care. And get in touch with Sylvia if you need any information for Cedarvale.
Yeah.
She's really great. She's really helpful, and I'm sure that if you feel like that's somewhere that you know someone could go to or yourself, I would say make that phone call. Touch base with her.
No worries.
Thank
Thank you
you
very
again.
much. Take care. Until next time.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
See ya.